everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From BA to Broadway. You know who it is. It's me. It's Brennan, and I'm bringing you your general programming reminders. Folks, every Monday we are here with the main episode. Every Friday we are here with our miniseries In the Spotlight. And just a reminder that on Sunday, February 9th at 10:45 a.m., we will be doing a live podcast recording at Broadway Con. If you follow us on socials, by now you must have seen that our special guest will indeed be the one and only Ms. Cara Rose DePietro. Y'all could not get enough of her episode when it came out, so she is gracing us with her presence at the convention with us, and we are so excited. So come out and see that. You can get tickets at BroadwayCon.com, and if you haven't listened to her original episode, go check it out. It's episode number 23, but that's enough about that. Who cares about that right now? That's not why we're here today. Folks, it's Friday, so I am not here alone. I am, of course, joined by Mr. Daniel J. Solly. Danny, what is happening?
What is happening?
I don't know. That was
the
question.
Doing? Here's what's happening.
Yeah.
Today I saw Maybe Happy Ending, and
With
I
my
got
Lord and Savior,
Darren Criss
Indeed.
and Helen Shen.
Yep.
And I have to say, it is a goddamn fucking delightful show.
I am so happy to hear that.
It is so good. Darren Criss, look, I'm not a star kid. I'm not a Gleek. I don't care about him. I don't know him from Adam. He's fucking wonderful. He's so good. He's giving such a beautiful performance. It's really inventive, too. It's a really inventive show. Michael Arden, who I love his work. He directed it. It's beautiful. So I highly recommend seeing it. And I went completely blind. I literally I had a Today Takes gift card, and I had heard nothing but great things about the show. So I was like, oh, I'll go see the show. Didn't know a single thing about it. Loved it.
Hell yeah.
Couldn't recommend it more.
Amazing.
And that's how I'm doing.
Okay. That rocks. I'm so happy to hear that. I've heard nothing but great things, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, you should. Great. I was like, Brennan needs to see this. He would love it.
Yeah. But you know what? That's not what we're talking about today. Danny, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about She Loves Me.
She loves me.
I love it.
Yay.
She loves me. We love it. We love them. Do you know She Loves Me?
I sure do.
Oh, you do?
Of course.
I thought you didn't. Interesting.
No. It's in my book.
Well, yeah, anyone who's anyone has one of the songs in their book.
If you're a baritone in musical theater, it is in there, baby.
Do you have... Let me think. I'm going to try and stereotype you. Which one do you have? I feel like you probably have the George. Do you have She Loves Me?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, me too. I remember in college... I've had that song in my book since I was probably 16.
Yeah.
And when I was in college, finally someone was like, okay, like, yeah, you do the song really well. Realistically, why don't you have like the young guy song in your book? And I was like, so they made me learn Try Me, and I like put it in my book.
Because I'm 48 years old, that's why.
I was like, I have no good reason why I have never sang Try Me. And they're like, yeah, if you were going to audition for the show today, that's what they would see you as, not George, you freak. So that's my little...
We love it.
She Loves Me is a musical with a book by Joe Masteroff, music by Jerry Bach, and lyrics by Sheldon Harnick. Yes, that is Bach and Harnick of Fiddler on the Roof.
Whoa.
She Loves Me. It's such a popular story. It is actually the third adaptation of the 1937 play Parfumerie by Hungarian playwright Milos Laszlo.
Wow.
And so that's the original play. And then following that, we have a 1940 film called The Shop Around the Corner. And then we have a 1949 musical film in the good old summertime. And then we have, obviously, the musical She Loves Me. And then the latest adaptation is the 1988 movie You've Got Mail, starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, friends of the pod.
1988?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy to me.
You thought it was like...
It feels more recent. I've never even seen it, but like
you've never seen it.
Just in the world of knowing movies and names of movies, that always it felt more recent than that. Wow, interesting. Okay.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Great movie. Highly recommend. And obviously highly recommend the musical. So the show takes place in Maracek's perfume shop in Budapest in 1934. Our characters, it's a very small show. There's a very small cast. So our characters are Amalia Balázs, who is a young woman who becomes a sales clerk at the very top of the show. George Novak, who is a soft-spoken, shy manager of the Parfumerie. I love that word.
Is it Parfumerie?
Parfumerie. Well, that's French. They're in Budapest.
Yeah.
I don't know a Budapest accent, but I would do one. We have Alona Ritter, who is the wisecracking and sexy sales girl. Stephen Codley, who is a handsome and shallow sales clerk.
What did you just say?
What?
Say his last name again?
No, why? What are you going to say? What would you say?
It's Kodai.
Is it Kodai?
It is Kodai.
I have always said Stephen Codley.
Interesting.
Because I'm using phonetics.
I mean, yeah, that is how
Kodai,
it is written.
Stephen Kodai.
Mm-hmm.
God, now I'm going to mispronounce every single one of these names.
No, that is, I'm sure the other ones are fine.
I'm not from Budapest. I'm sorry.
That's the only one that's counterintuitive.
Oh.
They do sing it a lot, but it's okay.
Then we have Arpad, who is the young errand boy, and Mr. Marichek, who is the owner of the Parfumerie.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, I'm going to mispronounce this name now. You're making me paranoid.
Don't even.
Ladslav Sipos, who is the veteran sales clerk, kind of the old man.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are all of our characters. The plot line is basically that Amalia and George meet at the top of the show. They hate each other. They do not get along. They bicker all day long at work. But secretly, unbeknownst to both of them, they are pen pals.
Yes.
And they met on a personals ad. And so they lovingly write each other these letters called Dear Friend. Mm-hmm. To each other. They are both Dear Friend. And so they have this like really blossoming romance over letter, but in person, they hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout the course of the show, we kind of get to see a glimpse into all of these workers' lives, and we watch how Amalia and George kind of develop an in-person relationship, how both Alona and Stephen Kodai have an on-again, off-again affair, and eventually at the end of the show, spoiler alert, Amalia and George realize who each other are, and the show ends with a beautiful kiss.
Indeed. It's crazy to think that, like, today, the equivalent would just be, like, two people that are anonymous on Tinder.
I guess, but it's just, that wouldn't happen today.
No.
Like, would you ever write someone that you didn't know their name and or their, like, face?
No. Are you kidding me? You want me to get murdered?
I don't know. If someone wrote me, like, a steamy love letter, said, like, dear friend, I might write back. No, I probably wouldn't.
I'd be curious, but I'd be very skeptical.
I'd be a little curious.
Knowing me, I'd be like, what's the catch?
Well, yeah.
Something's fishy here.
You know, I guess the equivalent is the... Are those... The equivalent is like the gay dating sites where people don't show their faces. Yeah. So I guess we can have a modern gay... We should have a modern gay adaptation of She Loves Me called He Loves Him.
Whoa.
Set on Grindr.
It could just be He Loves Me.
Yeah, he loves me. He loves him.
Yeah, he loves him.
He loves him. We should get that going. He loves him. He loves me.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A modern gay Fantasia.
We just got to make sure we're avoiding copyright and all of that jazz. But
what do you mean what copyright?
Well, since He Loves Me sounds so close to She Loves Me, maybe we could advertise it as a parody musical.
That's why it's He Loves Him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
it could be one of those parody musicals.
I could see a successful off-Broadway run of this.
Right? Like, it's kind of a funny idea.
Honestly, we're going to sidebar this, but like...
We're going to edit this part out so none of you gays steal our idea.
No, we're going to say it, but right now we are claiming the intellectual property of it based on the fact that...
that's how copyright works. You just claim it.
Well, if nobody else has it and you start doing things with it, it is technically yours.
Yeah. So the musical premiered on Broadway in April of 1963 at the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Directed by Hal Prince and choreographed by Carol Haney, the cast featured Daniel Massey as George Novak, Barbara Cook as Amalia Balish, I think is...
I'll follow you on this one, because I don't know for sure.
Ooh, I don't know.
We're going to go with Balish.
Interestingly, the show only ran for 302 performances and was considered too small to generate any kind of a profit.
Interesting.
Barbara Cook, who is... a Broadway legend, was kind of the major draw of the show, but it was overshadowed by a lot of the bigger productions of the time. And so this, interestingly enough, the show opened, closed, came and went, and then nobody had heard from it for 30 years.
Wild.
It was kind of a disappeared, a hidden show.
Yeah.
The only kind of foothold it had was the song Vanilla Ice Cream.
Yep.
Which has become, it's not a song in the show sung by Amalia. It has become, kind of a comedic soprano standard in the musical theater rep. And Barbara Cook, released it on her album and sang it in cabarets and stuff. So that was kind of the one relic of the show that remained relevant. But for 30 years, we basically did not hear from the show until the Roundabout Theater Company produced a revival in June of 1993, directed by Scott Ellis and choreographed by Rob Marshall. And this production included Boyd Gaines as George, Judy Kuhn as Amalia, which is, I think she left Sunset Boulevard to come and do this revival.
That's a great role for her.
Mm-hmm. Sally Mays as Alona, and Howard McGillen as Kodai. This revival similarly ran for only 350 performances. Little fun fact, Howard McGillen, he's like Broadway royalty. I think he has the Guinness World Record for the longest running Phantom on Broadway. He played the role for like 10, 11 years. He was one of my professors in college. I remember one time I got up in class and I sang She Loves Me. And he got this, he's the nicest, kindest man you'll ever meet in the world. One of my favorite professors I ever had. And he just like got this like big grin on his face. And he was like, oh my God, I did this production at Roundabout. Like, I'm so excited to hear you do it. And I was like, I want to die right now.
Nice.
And then the next week I got up and I sang, I forget what song it was, but a song from Anything Goes. And he was like, oh my God, I did the Lincoln Center revival of this show. I can't wait to hear you sing this song. And I was like, fuck.
Can I have a list of what you didn't do?
I know. I was like, I'm going to look up your Wikipedia and only pick. No, I mean, it's actually very cool when you get to get notes from someone who did the show on Broadway.
For sure.
It is kind of like a shitting yourself moment when you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a cast album recording of you singing this song and I have to sing it for you. So just a little fun fact. A little name drop, if you will.
Networking.
Yes. So I think I would have loved to see this revival. Judy Kuhn is like, this is perfect for her.
Yeah.
Perfect for her. And then what's funny is that the Roundabout Theater Company is a real champion of She Loves Me because they mounted the 2016 revival, again directed by Scott Ellis.
Wild.
They were like, let's do it again.
They're like, they couldn't get enough of it the first time.
I know. They're like, 20 years later, let's do it. Let's do it. And this one was incredible.
Yeah.
This cast featured Laura Benanti as Amalia, Zachary Levi as George. We'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi as George, Jane Krakowski as Alona, Gavin Creel as Kodai. This revival was actually a very huge hit. It was nominated for all of the awards. They only won for Best Scenic Design. This was so acclaimed, they actually professionally filmed this one. I believe it's out on Broadway HD. It literally got released in movie theaters, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
A musical, like a stage musical film.
I feel like that wouldn't have been widely attended outside of New York City.
Probably not. I doubt it was like mainstream released, but I do know that it was released in certain theaters. Did you see this revival?
No.
Oh, I saw this revival. What was it, 2016? Yeah. So I was in college at the time and I saw it. It was such a gorgeous revival. Like, it felt just so old school. The whole orchestra, they had this huge orchestra that were in the two side balconies, and the set was like anything I've ever seen. Like the set was like, I think the scenic design was going for like a pop-up book story. Yeah. So it was like these huge, very beautiful, vibrant, elaborate sets that would just like fold in on themselves with every scene. It was so good. This cast was like actually it was incredible. Yeah. It was incredible. It unfortunately was a part of the crazy Broadway season that included Hamilton, Waitress, The Color Purple, etc., etc. Like that. Again, I mean, I think, what show? Oh, we talked about The Color Purple, so I probably said this. But like that Best Leading Actress category was literally like Laura Benanti, Jessie Mueller, Cynthia Erivo, Philippa Sue. Like, you just like... crazy. But yeah, Laura Benanti did wonderful work. Obviously the late great Gavin Creel.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, Zachary Levi has lost his mind.
Yes.
Have you seen the video of him ranting about vaccines?
I have. Yes. It is rough, folks.
For those in the know, Zachary Levi, former Broadway actor Zachary Levi, is now an alt-right, not just a Republican. He is like a vaccine-denying, rabid, radical, crazy man. And he went on this like Instagram video that he posted talking about how Gavin Creel had passed of cancer this year. Oh my God. That was in the summer, right?
It was, 2024.
2024. And he was talking about, my good friend Gavin Creel clearly died because of the vaccine. They're going to tell you it's cancer, but this was due to his COVID boosters, and
that was
spreading this like crazy anti-vax and like using Gavin Creel's death as just like fodder for his alt-right conspiracy.
That was so fucked up.
It was fucking crazy. Did you see Norbert Leo Butz?
Yes.
Like condemned him in a comment.
Yeah.
And then did you see Laura Benanti's clapback?
No.
Oh my God. Someone asked her about it, and she basically was like, they were like, were you surprised at Zachary Levi's turn? Because no one really knew this about him until recently. And she was like, no, I fucking hated him. He sucked all of the energy out of the room. He gave everybody notes. And the fact that he is using our friend's death as like fodder, like, she literally says, fuck you forever. Like, you should watch the video. Because Laura Benanti like doesn't fuck around.
Yeah.
She was like, fuck you forever. I've hated you forever. And like, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely wild.
That was just like, I mean, he was already too much about that kind of stuff. But when he ever tried to freaking weaponize this man's death, that I was like, absolutely, you are an absolute psychopath.
Next.
Just like shame on you.
Yeah.
Really just shame.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
But unfortunately, he was very good in this production of She Loves Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. He was a great George.
He was great.
He was a great George. So I guess we got a good performance out of him, and then we never have to see him again.
Truly.
Did you see it, or did you see the film?
I watched the film version. That's why I got my 7-day free trial of Broadway HD. Was to watch.
Is there good? I've actually never checked that out. Is there good stuff on there?
This was years ago, so I would imagine by now there's probably way more on there.
Yeah, I've always kind of figured that I could just get anything from YouTube.
Yeah.
So I never really checked it out. Or maybe I should. I don't know. Go on like a gay bender and just
someone
watch
we now
on
has to
HD.
have an account.
I guess.
Hey, if anyone out there has a Broadway HD account,
but I
want to send us the login info.
I mean, not to read both of us for filth, but I feel like of all of our friends, we would be the two to have it.
Don't say the two. Out of all of our friends, you would be the one to have.
You would also. Don't you fucking lie to me.
Actually, no.
We would be the two. This would be the apartment to have Broadway HD.
I am famously a streaming service moocher. I don't pay for any of them.
You don't?
The only thing I pay
You have every single one.
The only thing I pay for is Amazon Prime.
You have every single service.
Yep.
You mooch every single one of them?
100. Well, I get Disney Plus through work.
Uh-huh.
And Hulu now because of the package. But even before then, mooch. And thank you to everyone who is helping me do that.
I mean, me too.
Yeah. I've recently lost Paramount Plus. That was a loss in the community, but
I think I have Paramount.
Do you really?
I think so.
Okay.
I should delete it though. I got the free
just to spite me.
Well, no, I got the free trial like 2 years ago to watch the Oscars, and then I forgot. And then
Danny.
Last year for the Oscars, I was like, oh my God, I have Paramount Plus. Because it's really cheap. Paramount Plus is like $3 a month, something like that.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, oh my God, I have Paramount Plus that I've been paying for the past year. So I watched the Oscars again last year, and then I think I deleted it. But I'll check. I might still have it.
Great.
One last fun fact about She Loves Me is that we almost got a musical film adaptation in 1967 starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, but it never materialized.
That's a shame.
That's a goddamn shame.
That really is.
But look, here's my thing. They're both still alive.
Why do you say the things that you say?
What's to stop a geriatric She Loves Me?
Anything. Actually, honestly.
Come on.
Could be kind of cute with old people.
If they announced a She Loves Me film adaptation starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, you're telling me you wouldn't go see it?
That could honestly be really cute.
Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
If they're intentionally elderly people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be?
Actually, you're onto something. I'll give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
I
Damn.
have 2 reimagined She Loves Me productions in the works right now. I'll say it.
Who's going to write to someone anonymously? Elderly people.
Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke.
Yep.
And gays on Grindr. Those are the 2 demographics.
Okay, so we have 2 different ideas we're tossing around here. We got to bring... Okay, great.
I think we could get both to happen.
I agree.
I think so.
That's a patent, folks. Stay away from us.
Stay away. I'll punch you in the face.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I really love She Loves Me.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful, quirky little score.
Mhm.
It's like, it is such a... I mean, it's one of the top examples of like musical comedy, golden age musical comedy. It's so just like... How do you like? What do you? It's just like a feel good old
charming.
musical. It's a charming.
Yeah.
It's a charming old school musical with just a fun score.
Mhm.
All of the songs are just so fun.
It's got a great array. Like the characters are like a very good array all working together. It's just really it has all the pieces it needs to just instantly be successful and loved.
I'm surprised it's not done more, to be honest.
I feel like I do see it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I never really see it get done. It's not really in the like community theater circuit that I am aware of.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Might be because it's not a big cast.
Maybe that.
That's probably why it never really entered like the
Yeah.
school.
Maybe it's not like the
circuits.
most recognizable name, you know, for like
She Loves
especially all of the summer stock theaters that are like doing
I
all
feel
their
like
movie musicals.
I feel like She Loves Me. It's funny. I was told this by a teacher years like before the 2016 revival. I feel like the 2016 revival kind of made it a little more mainstream.
Yes.
But pre that, I had a teacher once at like an intensive I was doing, and she was like, you know something? I know pretty much every song from She Loves Me because everyone has every song in their book, but I have never seen a production. I've never heard of someone do a production, and I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
And I
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
I feel like that kind of sums up the weird spot that She Loves Me holds in the canon, where a lot of the songs, because it's a really great score, and all of the characters kind of have really cool defining songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's become very book popular.
Yeah.
You know, like for George, it's obviously the song She Loves Me. For Amalia, it's Vanilla Ice Cream and Will He Like Me.
Mm-hmm.
For Alona, it's Trip to the Library. There's a Kodai song. What's the Kodai song? It's been Swell Knowing You.
Well, there's Alona.
Oh, yeah. There's Alona, and there's also Grand Knowing You. So he's got 2. You know, and Try Me is like the young, plucky song.
Yeah.
So I think there's kind of like an iconic song for every character, and because of that, and because they are all like, every character is a different voice type, every character is a completely different type, you know, it's become a very popular book show.
I feel like it's also just
for people's audition books.
I feel like it's one of those easily digestible shows too, because it's one of those things where the audience immediately, they are the one that knows everything. Like you immediately know the situation. You don't have to like be anxious or like wondering the whole time what's going to happen. It's just you watching these people figure it out. Like you already know everything. So I think it's really nice in that way too, where it's one of those things where the audience kind of has a little bit of power in that situation.
Yeah. And it's funny that it's one of those that's like the inverse. Like the popular movie that everybody in the world knows is based on the play.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the other way around. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
And I feel like the movie is like divorced enough from the show that people like it doesn't help the show that there's a movie. You know, it doesn't gain like a viewership just because it's different title, different IP. Like people, unless you're like a theater person who knows the show already, you're not really going to connect it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree for sure. But great show.
It was a great show.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
And Jane Krakowski did those iconic splits.
Yeah.
And like Gavin Crowell's Dragon. I really like their Tony performance. They did a medley.
Yes.
I love a medley.
Yeah,
I love a good medley. There is a great Tony performance. And I think, if I remember correctly, Laura Benanti was like 4 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
And she was like throwing up backstage before she had to go out and do Vanilla Ice Cream at the Tony Awards.
Oh, that's so rough.
Yeah. I mean, like you never know because she's fucking flawless. But just like a little backstage secret.
Wow.
That only I know because she told me in confidence.
I can't believe you just told the whole world.
Sorry.
Wow, this is going #viral.
I can't wait to get my video where Laura Benanti's like, fuck you forever.
Literally.
If Laura Benanti looked me in the eye and said, fuck you forever, I'd be like, I guess.
I made it.
And everyone is like that. You gotta watch that video. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is like, "Oh my god, she's like the new Patti LuPone who just
Whoa.
says it like it is."
Yeah. I mean, that's not even saying it like it is. That is just
calling out egregious acts.
Yeah.
I think we've seen, the last of him.
Thank God.
Until there's like a She Loves Me conservative revival with like him and Laura Osnes.
Wow. Oh my God.
I know, right?
That's going to be a match made in heaven when they try and start collabing.
Yeah. It's
wow.
like the MAGA production of She Loves Me with him, Laura Osnes. Mm-hmm. I don't know who else could be in it, but
they're chatting on Christian Mingle.
Oh God.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, folks. Great show. Honestly, this is one of those shows where like most of the songs in it you could put in your book, It's a really great option for Golden Age classical pieces. Mm-hmm. It feels a little bit more it feels on like the tail end of the Golden Age stuff, so it does kind of bridge a little bit of a gap to like more modern musical theater. So I think a lot of people that don't find themselves as easily attuned with classical pieces will find a lot of great material in this one. Honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wouldn't say there's any in here that are like, there are ones that are overdone, but it's not like a no-go for sure,
I would say that they're all overdone.
Yeah. I mean, they are.
They are all overdone, but also, look, here's this conversation. I was talking to a casting director once, and I was like taking a master class with a casting director like years ago, and she basically said, she was like, look, like there are obvious things that like maybe you shouldn't touch, like Over the Rainbow or like whatever, like iconic songs like that. But she was like, if you think, she's like, my full-time job is sitting in an audition room, watching hundreds and hundreds of people audition. If you think that not every single song is overdone, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
She's like, I would give you $100 if you came in and sang a song that I haven't heard 100 times already.
Yeah.
Either that day or that week.
100%.
So I think it's less about maybe doing a quote unquote overdone song and more just recognizing that certain songs and certain shows get done more often and really saying, okay, do I have a point of view on this song, and am I going to bring myself, or am I going to be like another person just singing Will He Like Me?
Yeah.
And fade in the background.
Is this a good role for you for a reason,
Yeah, like are you I don't know. Yeah, that's what I gotta say.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say. My nuggets of wisdom for the day.
Thank you for your nuggets.
Sure. All of my nuggets are for you.
Wow. You said it, not me. Folks, go listen to it. Go watch the revival production on Broadway HD. Share that login info with us.
And I would also recommend, obviously, listen to the new Broadway recording, but listen to the OBC.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Barbara Cook is, if you don't know Barbara Cook, learn about Barbara Cook. She was one of the greats.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. And listen to that original recording. I always say listen to the original recording. Mm-hmm. There is nothing for me, but this is objectively right because I'm always right. There nothing can top listening to a score sung by the person the score was written for.
That's true.
Listening to like an OBC, original Broadway cast, if you don't know.
Of course.
You're listening to the way the orchestrations were written to be played. You're listening to the songs by the performers who were standing there in the booth with the composers. I think you can always hear it in such a different way when you listen to the like OG, and then listen to the various revivals that have different takes and different concepts and different reorchestrations and yada yada yada. But I always recommend starting with like the original, listening to that. Barbara Cook, beautiful. She is the blueprint for vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, listen to the blueprint. Why not?
Of course.
Yeah. I think it's a shame we never got a Kristen Chenoweth. She Loves Me.
Yeah.
I think, and this is also a choice. This is a total tangent, whatever. I think that this is probably by her choice. Kristen Chenoweth is like one of the most underused Broadway actors we have.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be by her choice.
Like, she probably is very picky and choosy about when she wants to come to New York and do 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
And we're getting her next season in Queen of Versailles.
Yeah.
But there are just so many shows where I am like, where was Kristen?
Yeah.
Where, like, we never got a She Loves Me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm floored that she never played Christine in Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
She never did. I mean, could you imagine her as like a Mrs. Lovett?
That would be incredible.
Wouldn't that be absolutely
That would
insane?
be really incredible, yeah.
She would be so good.
I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm. Like
Interesting.
her Mrs. Lovett, her Mama Rose. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine it.
I was like, what if we, like, a world where she replaced Patty and Company, you know?
Whoa.
I don't know. I think she needs to do more Broadway. I think her and she's kind of this like crazy person, similar to, I think, Adina, where it's like, you just like hit the Broadway jackpot where every show you do is like a smash Broadway defining hit.
Yeah.
And so then I think, you know, in a way that's like good for you, Queen. You get to be picky and choosy about when you just like feel, when you really want to come and do Broadway, which is like, you know, doesn't pay great and is grueling.
And she leaves us wanting.
Similar to like Heather Headley. I'm like, come back to
She has the perfect formula because we will always want her.
We will eat it up.
Which means it will be a smash hit success because everyone's flocking.
It's like anytime she graces us. And Kristen Chenoweth is a freak in that she's got those like, she's a freak. Her vocals are just so crazy.
Yeah.
She sounds the same that she sounded in 2003.
Yeah.
Which like cannot be said for, I'd say, 99% of performers.
100%.
And no tea, no shade, because that's how the voice works.
Yeah.
You get older and it fades. But I think that she could sing any score the way that she sang it in 1990, which is just like insane. I don't know why I got on my Kristen Chenoweth tangent, but
I'm happy you did.
She should have played Amalia at some point. She could.
She still could. There's time.
I know, you know, she's a little old for it, but she could do it.
You know, age is but a number.
Like, who could she play off of so well? I don't know. Imagine a world where, like, her and Norbert Leo Butz reunited and did She Loves Me.
That'd be crazy.
I'd buy tickets.
I know you would.
I'd probably, like, fly across the country for it.
You would buy a ticket the day they come out.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, we know.
You know, after tonight, I also think Darren Criss would be a good George.
Yeah. He would. I think he would be a great Kodai for sure. I
don't see that.
That's one of those things where it's not a type thing so much as just like he could put it in his wheelhouse for sure. But I think in time he could be a great George.
In time? He's running out of time. How old is he?
He's
is he younger than you think?
No, he is. He's probably in his mid 30s, but I feel like is more youthful of an actor.
He is youthful. He's 37.
Oh, okay.
He's married with 2 kids.
He sure is.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love She Loves Me. I know it was recently done, but I think it would actually do really well on like a Little Shop tier off Broadway revival.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think because it's a small show. It's a small cast.
You could easily have a revolving door.
Yeah.
Of cast members. And
for all 4, honestly. You could, like, all 4 characters could be star cast.
Literally all of the roles.
Yeah. Oh, my. You know what? Now I'm just thinking of, like, anyone who's played Seymour could play George. I'm like, Matt Doyle, get him in there.
Yeah.
He'd be, like, the cutest little George ever.
No, he's going to be the star of our show.
Matt Doyle?
Yeah.
He loves him?
Yeah.
Can I play opposite him?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay, fine. There is a world where it'd be kind of cute if we had Matt Doyle and Max Clayton play the lovers.
Yeah.
Because they are real life lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once again, patent. We
have
patent
our 2
on
casts. We have Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, Matt Doyle and Max Clayton.
Oh, wow.
We can play their understudies.
Mm-hmm.
For both, actually.
Yeah.
I'll be Julie's, you be Dick's.
Great.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if I have anything else to contribute besides nonsense.
It's that time, folks.
Absolute nonsense. Kelly O'Hara never got her
Oh
She
my
Loves
God.
Me revival.
We could do this all night.
I know. I know.
Folks, if there's a certain show you want to hear us talk about, you can let us know by finding us over on Patreon. That is right. Our principal tier Patreon subscribers get to choose the shows that we talk about each week. So come find us over there. Let us know what you want to hear, and we will do it.
And for all our producer friends, if you're interested in financing our show, give us a holler.
Yes, indeed.
You've never seen She Loves Me quite like this.
No.
Gay and or
because they're
geriatric.
Both boys.
Or old.
As always, you can find us on most social media platforms at BA2Broadway. You can find me at Brennan Stefanik.
You can't find me as a follower of Zachary Levi, but you can find me at DSauls.
That is correct. And until next week, folks.
Bye.
From BA to Broadway is created, produced, and edited by Brennan Stefanik, music by Dylan Kaufman, and cover art by Jordan Vongsithi.